Hi, what new possibilities will you create? Today's guests will share their story and provide insight. From my network to yours, let's get to it.
I'm Captain Mowbray, author, motivational speaker, career consultant. When you have a mental game plan for change, you're ready for anything.
So I'm going to say that again. Live in the present moments with a present mindset. Let's put it there. If you're giving energy to things that don't serve you, your light field is being depleted.
Listen to understand. It helps you understand the other mindsets.
Fiction books are fun to me because they're able to take you out of the world, which is why I like to read them.
I am Ron T. Young. I'm a actor, photographer, director, graphic designer.
And so for me, I decided a long time ago that I wanted good memories. But I didn't know that this was what I was going to be doing. I did know I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I did not know what that meant. This was very surprising to me. Say yes as much as you can.
I'm Jamil Shabazz, also known as J Styles here in Seattle. As happy as an individual as I am inside, sometimes you watch television, man, it can just start to dampen your spirit. We could blame this on the pandemic or whatever, but the reality is a lot of us would still be functioning if we weren't ordered to stay home. As it says in the Quran, which is the book that most Muslims read, fasting was prescribed for you so that you may learn self-restraint. And you need self-discipline to run. You need physical and mental, spiritual. You need all the strength in the world when you run. We look at a rat as being nasty.
Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
So Rick, tell them about you. They heard a lot about me more than they probably expected. So tell them about you.
Well, Jesse, first of all, I just want to truly acknowledge you. You and I met through Veronica about 3 years ago. And there's whatever you need, brother, I'm there for you, man.
I love you, man.
Whatever, no matter where I am in the world, man, you always are welcome. Don't give it a second thought. Just buy the ticket and come. That's all you got to do.
We're coming. You know that's a must.
Jesse, first of all, I just want to truly acknowledge you. You and I met through Veronica about 3 years ago. And there's whatever you need, brother, I'm there for you, man.
I love you, man.
Whatever, no matter where I am in the world, man, you always are welcome. Don't give it a second thought. Just buy the ticket and come. That's all you got to do.
We're coming. You know that's a must.
But let me talk about a journey that started in 2005 when Michael called me and invited me to meet him in South Africa. And I had always, as a kid, wanted to go to Africa, for the lions and the tigers and those things. Well, they don't have tigers, but for the big five. So I took him up on it. I was coming off a situation where my brother had died in March of 2005. I had run into a problem with a business I had started. It was a very successful business. We were doing frozen gumbo. We were in all the Walmarts up and down the I-5 corridor. We were in all the Red Apples up here. We were in QFC, thanks to Ken Banks. But the partnership and the corporation was dissolving. And so I made an offer. They refused my offer, so they bought me out, and I was thankful. So I was free, to take Michael up on his opportunity to meet him in Joburg.
Wow.
And I did that. I returned to South Africa in late 2006, early 2007. Ended up living there for 2.5 years in Melbourne. and obviously spent a lot of time all over South Africa, and went to Mozambique. And, Michael and I went to Zambia to do a seminar in Zambia, and spent a lot of time. Love Africa, but what happened? I spent a lot of time in Soweto. On a particular day, I was waiting to meet a friend, and school bus pulls up. A young lady gets off the school bus. There's a bunch of kids. What made her stand out was I saw that she was an amputee, and that didn't bother me. What got me is that she had what appeared to be what I refer to as a coat hanger, and it's bent in a U-shaped form, and that was pinched into her skin, and that was serving as her artificial limb. Now that got me. But remind you, I'm not in South Africa for that. I'm there looking at all the business opportunities, and God knows there are plenty of them. So in 2009, I returned to Seattle, and I reviewed the Landmark Forum. And it was during that time that a question was asked. And for those of you that don't know Landmark, it's a 2.5, 3-day seminar where people get up and share whatever's on their mind. And it was worthwhile, and I had been involved in Landmark for some time. So the question was asked, are you in the stands or are you on the field? And I'm like, oh, I'm in the stands. Now, remind you, most of my life I spent on the playing field, you know, because I'm an entrepreneur and I've done several businesses. And but that question stuck with me, and I realized I was in the stand.
Get a little more about that too. When you say in the stand, for those who don't know sports, you know, give a little perspective what that may mean.
It means you're a spectator.
Yeah.
You know, you're not participating in life.
Yep.
You know, it's another way of saying it. You're the Walking Dead. Yep. because you're not participating. You know, yep. And I'm a participant. And the question moved me, obviously, because I understood the meaning, and I realized that I had been in the stands, and it was time to get back on the field. But how do I get back on the field? I wasn't in the mood to start another company. I wasn't looking to make profit. I wasn't looking for that. So while I'm sitting there, the image of this young girl getting off the school bus comes back to me, so the thought is, okay, what do I do about this? Seeing this young lady who is, I'm going to say about 15 years old, in that kind of a situation. So what occurred to me was to start a nonprofit. And in October of 2009, I started Limbs for You. Mm-hmm. And what Limbs for You was about was providing reusable artificial limbs for amputees in developing countries. Because in America, you cannot reuse an artificial limb. It's against the law. Not only in America, but Canada, England, France, Germany. It's against the law. And
still?
So today,
wow.
Very much so. Very much so. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know. And just kind of FYI, because I'm a vet, there is no vet who has lost an artificial limb in the military as a result of military duty. Has a opportunity to have a limb for life. And they can have as many limbs as they want. They can have one for running, for swimming, for taking a shower, whatever. So there's no vet out there who is an amputee as a result of being in the service that doesn't have a limb. Now, if he or she is injured as a result of being a civilian, then the military is not responsible.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. So what I discovered, Jesse, as a result of starting Lens for You, is that I realized for the first time in my life I had found a passion. Up until that point, up until 2009, everything I had done in life was because that's what you do.
Correct.
You know, you get married, you know, you go to college, you do all these things. And whatever those things are, playing sports, you know, climbing the corporate ladder, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't passionate about none of it. I was just doing it because that's what you do.
Yeah, about it.
You know?
You just go, just routine after routine. Yep.
Exactly. So I found my passion, and I can tell you, it has made a big difference in my life. I have discovered who I am, and I'm a giving person. I'm a loving person. I'm pretty much authentic. You know, I mean, what you see today is what you'll see tomorrow.
Consistent.
I've grown quite a bit. Yeah, I try to be. If I fall off, I'll get back up. But life has been good. And of course, life is a journey, as we all know. And what I'll say, given the current environment, given this environment today, I see it as a blessing myself.
Yeah. I
see it as an opportunity for each and every one of us to reflect on your life, see where you've been, think about where you're going, and how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
And to me, there's no better time right now than to get a grip on it. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Now, I want to share something.
Please do.
With you. It's quite interesting because when you look at you working for Amazon, and Michael is obviously a professor at the University of Florida, speaks 100 different languages. And then when I look at Joy and I look at Christina and all the people that I've met as a result of the Columbia Tower Club, the Gratitude Guy, David.
Yeah.
One thing that occurs to me, and it's a result of something that a new journey that I'm about to embark upon, is that let me just get the facts right. You know, there's about 80% of the English learners population in our schools today are Spanish-speaking people, followed by Vietnamese, and followed by Chinese. Now, what does that mean? Each one of us are in our entrepreneurial spirit. We look for opportunities in the entrepreneurial world. Here is 3 classifications of countries, if you will. Spanish-speaking countries, Vietnamese, and I was in Vietnam in July with Michael. Going back in 2021, Michael's been to China, and Michael was taught in China. So what does that say about us? What does that say about us? Are we limiting our opportunities because we're not looking at different ethnic groups, different opportunities? Now let's take a look. Let's just take a look. Let's just take a look. Where is Ford doing business? You know, where does Amazon do business? Where does Microsoft do business? They're not stuck in the United States. They're doing business globally. Yes. So what's preventing us from having that same mindset? We've got to look at beyond our own borders, and those borders are our mind as well.
Yes.
But just not the borders of the United States. It's a world out there, and you know, the internet is worldwide. It's global. So you have to look at when you're branding yourself or whatever you're doing, you've got to incorporate in such a way that you take in everyone. You know, everywhere. There's everywhere to do business. Yeah, look at the NBA. You know, the NBA is in Africa. And, you know, and of course, you know, China, you know. So everybody's becoming global. And I think we, and when I speak we, I'm talking about us who are on this podcast, you know, we tend to narrow where we are, you know, because, you know, we're comfortable and it's okay. But at some point in time, McDonald's figured out I sold enough hamburgers in America. I can't sell no more. You know, I got to go someplace else. Where they go? China. You know, where they go? South Africa. You know, I'm just pointing it out that we need to take a look that your brand can be global. You know, so just think about that. Just think about it, because that's what I'm doing. I'm going global.
I love it. And then your words, and I wanted to make sure folks hear this. So Rick, your screen is frozen, but I don't care right now because your words.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, because we're gonna flip on to the next hour anyway. But I want you to know my appreciation of you, because your words continues to have deep perspective and insight for folks to think. And I appreciate that. And I'm honored that my baby girl gets to hear what I get to hear. And my love and my friends and my network gets to hear what I get to hear from you always. You said something that's key. We have borders in our own mind. Explain to folks what you mean by we have borders in our mind. What does that mean? That may not translate for some. Play on language. That may not translate for some.
So borders in the mind means what I'm saying is that we place limitations on ourselves. You know, and listen, you know, sometimes it's the thing to do, you know. However, you're limiting your opportunities. You know, so you got enough money in the bank now. Okay, well, I can fold my arms and relax. You know, or I finally moved into that house. You know, and now I can relax again. You know, or I finally got that degree. You know, see, those are limiting thoughts. You know, and you limit yourself.
Yeah.
And the journey, and in the journey, there are no limitations unless you place them on yourself. And when you listen, I have nothing negative to say about Seattle, Washington. I have nothing negative to say about America, even though I could, but I'm not, because I'm not going there. But I can tell you, I have been to over 20 countries. And as I mentioned earlier, I got a chance to live in South Africa. You know, and the continent of Africa is one of the richest continents in the world. It's one of the undeveloped continents in the world. What does that mean? What does that mean?
I got thoughts.
It means that there are plenty of opportunities. Yes. I'm telling you, I was just blown away. And I'm not talking about massive stuff. I'm talking about simple stuff. I mean, it's I was in Nelson Mandela Square, and normally on a Friday, you know, when you see a long line of people, they're waiting to get into the bank. So on this particular day, I come around the corner and there's this long line of people. I'm trying to figure out why there's no bank here, you know, where they were standing. So I can walk up. It's Cinnabon. Cinnabon was selling Cinnabons. They couldn't keep them fast enough. People were just standing in line, waiting for the next batch to come out. Now that's not massive. That's just something simple, so it doesn't have to be, and then when you talk about the internet and you talk about affiliated marketing, all that's a possibility.
Man. Wow.
Not only in Africa, but wherever, We were in, Michael and I were in Vietnam for 3 weeks, man. And they got it going on. It's one of the fastest growing economies in Asia.
Wow.
Understand what I said. One of the fastest growing economies in the world. Now, the beauty of it, they're not fighting a war. They won the war. They're not fighting a war. We're still fighting a civil war here.
Yes.
Like I said, I've been to over 20 plus countries. And one thing that comes to my mind is that, and I'm going to speak about us, we buy into that this is the greatest country in the world. And listen, it has certain benefits to being in America. And I am grateful that I was born here. Because some of the places that I've been to, you may not want to have been born there unless you were, let's say, privileged, whatever that may be for you. Because life is tough. In most countries, education isn't free. Here in America, education is free. In Africa, no. You might be able to get to 5th grade, but after that, you got to pay, or someone's got to pay.
Yeah.
So there's opportunities here that we take for granted, and I understand it. However, the problem is that we get laxed in our thinking, and our thought process limits our own opportunities. And that's why you have what we have, the 1%ers, if you will, or the 0.5%ers, Now, let me share with you that life isn't about the money. It's not about the money. Bob Dylan says it best. A man is a success if he gets up in the morning and goes to bed at night, and in between does what he wants to do. I'm going to read that one more time.
Yes, please.
A man is a success if he gets up, and by the way, woman,
yes, yeah,
people,
yes,
is a success if they get up in the morning and goes to bed at night, and in between does what he wants or she wants to do. That's what success is. And I know we get caught up in the trappings, and all that's good. Some of us, that's a motivator. I understand that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But let's understand that it's to wake up every day and to do something you're passionate about and something you enjoy doing, like Christina and Joy, and yourself,
yes.
and Michael,
Yeah.
And myself. I'll include myself in this, because what I enjoy more than anything else, Jesse, is giving what I have, and I have a wealth of knowledge. I've been blessed. I've been truly, truly blessed to have acquired the type of knowledge and the type of experiences that I've experienced in life.
No doubt.
I've been blessed. I'll just share this because most people don't know this. See, I lost my mother when I was 12. Very devastating for me. Because as you know, most men or boys or kids love their moms, and of course the girls love their dads. And I didn't have that opportunity. But what I've come to understand over the years now is that my mother was grooming me and my sister to get an education. And and some of the things that had taken place prior to her death. She had me and my sister taking piano lessons. I'm taking tap dancing lessons. And of course, at 12 years old, you don't want to be doing those things. You want to be out playing football and running with the boys, But I've come to understand why she did that. She planted a seed. And fortunately for me and my sister, we recognized that and took advantage of it. The other thing I'll say, and I'm grateful to my mother, is that she did not, her death was unexpected. She went in for a routine hysterectomy, and the operation got botched, so to speak. But she had the foresight to make sure that me and my sister were financially well off. And in our world, that is, I'm talking about our world. You talk about, having life insurance, or having, let's say, make sure that your kids or your family's taken care of. We tend to not want to do those things.
Right.
And I am totally grateful to my mother because me and Carol could have been a victim of falling through the cracks.
Yeah.
And had she not done that, as a result of doing that, we were not a financial burden to anyone. We were able to be financially stable, so to speak. So we didn't go to a foster home or whatever. So I'm grateful for that. My mother did that. I've been truly blessed, and I've had the opportunity to mentor. I mentored to a boxer by the name of David Jackson. The significance of David was on the 2000 Olympic team. And I've known David, I don't know, about 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
He went on and turned pro and decided boxing wasn't it. He was 9-1 when he stopped boxing.
Wow.
But he's a Seattleite, born and raised. I had a chance to, Michael and I went to the Dominican as a result of a friend of mine, Lance, who we'll see on the 25th of this month, actually.
Okay.
Lance and I met in college, and Lance knew what I was up to with Limbs for You and invited me and Michael to the Dominican. And we met a kid by the name of Jonathan. Jonathan was a 20-year-old working 40 hours a week on one leg and 2 crutches.
Wow.
And Michael and I, and Lance was a witness to this. We provided Jonathan with an artificial limb. And I can tell you, man, unequivocally, that the day he was fitted with that limb and stood up, there had to be at least 20 of us in the clinic. You could feel, we talk about God and you hear him giving sight to people and laying his hands on people. So all those are stories, right? And I can tell you unequivocally, everyone in that room knew God was in that room. I mean, it was a powerful feeling. I've heard people talk about what do you call it? I guess we'll say crack cocaine or something like that. Where you get and so you get addicted to it.
High, yes.
And see, the high. I mean, that was a high that I've been trying to find ever since. In terms of giving something like that and witnessing something like that.
Yes. Wow.
So I've had some experiences that we had a similar situation in Sierra Leone. Had a chance to go to Sierra Leone and watch an amputee soccer team called the Flying Stars. And here are these guys, on forearm crutches and missing the limb, and they're playing soccer. They're playing soccer and enjoying soccer. So America is great. I give it that. But what I enjoy is being outside the country. I've come to understand that I can live outside this country.
Yeah.
And not miss anything.
Yeah.
You know, the 3 weeks that I was in Vietnam, there was no news.
Yep.
Even if there was, we couldn't listen to it because it's in Vietnamese. So,
what resources do you recommend for entrepreneurs looking to go global?
Yeah, so I understand the question.
All right, I'll be right back.
So,
great answer. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I think one great resource is the Small Business Association. I think another good resource is the Chamber of Commerce. And I think one thing to look at is what are you looking to accomplish in another country? You know, obviously, if you're in the tech world, there's no place. There are places all over the world. You know, Japan, China, Vietnam, Africa. So it depends on what it is that you're trying to do, and then do your research because it's all on Google, and that's what I would say. And also, the other thing I would say as you are contemplating where you might be going is that you may come across, let me answer your question this way too. I believe in God or the universe. And once you have thought about or have thought of an intention of going somewhere, the universe will put you in touch with people who are from that country or from that region. And that's an opportunity for you to network with someone from that region or from that area. I have found, for those of you who don't know, next month I'm moving to Mexico.
Ooh, whereabouts?
Guadalajara.
Wow.
And you know, listen, people come to me and people from Mexico and meeting people because that's my intention. And when you have an intention, the universe will answer that intention.
Yeah.
You know, now here's the trick. You know, you have to recognize it. See, and some of us don't recognize it because we're too busy.
Yes.
Not understanding that your wish is being granted. So just be conscious, if you will, of that. When you have an intention, you know, whether it's, you know, changing careers, going back to school, looking at doing something different, it's going to happen. You just have to be mindful of the fact that the person that just approached you, they approached you because of your intention. If that makes sense.
Oh, thank you. Be present, following through. What does that mean for you?
It's, I tell you, Jesse, it took me a long time to get to that point. And the power of now. And it took that book.
Yeah.
And there's another book.
Yeah.
And there's another. Yep, that's the book. That's the book. And the Great Leap is another book.
Yeah.
And it took both of those books to get me to understand where I spent most of my life. I spent most of my life living in the past or in the future. And it's like, no, you got to give it up, brother. You got to be present. And it's tough. It's hard. It's, for me, the most difficult challenge in my life is to live in the moment.
Yes.
I'm an Aquarius. In Aquarius, we live in the future. We don't live in the present. You know, we're out there in the universe.
Yeah.
You know, and It's taken me a while to get there. And I'll be quite frank. This trip to Vietnam was that part of that trip. As far as Michael and I did the floating tank.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what that is.
No,
yeah.
Share.
But
I give a share for the broader group. What's that?
Well, you're in a enclosed saltwater filled tank with a lid over it.
Yeah.
in the dark, you know, and you could be there for 90 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes. So me and Michael took the longest. You're in separate tanks. We're not in the tank together. So we were in the tank for at least 90 minutes. And there's nobody in the tank but you and your thoughts, you know? And it was rewarding. It was relaxing. It gave me another, if you will, another tool to be with me. And I enjoy the tools of being with me. You know, I don't have a problem being with myself.
Yeah.
You know, one of the other things that I do every morning, I meditate. Every morning. I don't miss a morning. I do meditation every morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's good.
I don't. Yeah. I know. I meditate. I meditate every single morning. And that quiets me and gets me ready for the day. Now, the one thing that I do when I get up in the morning, and one thing I do before I go to bed, and I thank God. You know, I just simply say, thank you, God. I don't get into a long, elaborate prayer. I don't do that. I just say, thank you, God. When I get up in the morning, before I close my eyes at night, I thank God. That's what I do. That's what I do. Yeah. One last thing I want to say or ask is that I'll say this: everybody arrives on the planet with unique desires, gifts, and talents for their journey through life. What your job is to discover what yours are, to nurture them, to blossom into the most authentic, happy, and excited version of yourself.
Wow.
If you can do that, and it took me a long time, Jesse, to understand that I had a gift.
Yeah.
And because, you know, you look at LeBron James or, you know, Wilma Rudolph, you know, or Muhammad Ali, you know, those to me are gifts.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a gift like that, you know. So then when I look at and start to look at who I am as an individual, I come to understand, and Michael pointed this out to me, I'm a benefactor. You know, I'm a benefactor to other people, and I don't have a problem with that. Yeah. Matter of fact, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy sharing and my knowledge, my experience, whatever I can do to assist someone on their way to wherever they're going. You know, I'm willing to do that. You know, no questions asked.
If you could change one thing in your life, what would it be? What impact would it have on the rest of your life?
So, so the one thing that's, let's say, missing, or it's been missing in me, this is the only way I can answer. Is being in love. Love is a stranger. And quite frankly, I don't even know what it is. I've spent most of my life making sure that the pain I felt when my mother died, when they told me, I never wanted to experience that pain again. It was a devastating pain. And so if I could change one thing, and quite frankly, that's my journey, one of my journeys now, is to find that love. And I don't know what it looks like. I don't know her name. You know, I don't know. But thank you for asking the question. That's thank you.
That was dope.
That's the journey I'm on.
And I know you're going to find it, man, because it's a beautiful gift.
Yeah.
I never knew how powerful it is until I received it, and I know you're gonna receive it too, man.
Thank you, Justin. I'm looking forward to it.
I love you, man.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, love you.
You got me crying on the screen. Just
well, I'm about to break down myself, my brother.
Cry too late. Do you?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you be in the law of attraction? Yeah. If yes,
I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe in the law of attraction. I have I listened to the CD and read the book. I'm into that world, and that's the world that I'm into. And it's listen, I believe in it. And quite frankly, to be very candid with the question, is that Michael introduced me to that world, and that's the world of what we'll call transformation.
Yeah.
And transforming myself from one way of thinking to another way of thinking, and to instill confidence and to deal with being authentic, saying what's on your mind, and being present and being real for people.
Yes.
And I try to meet. I meet people where they are, wherever they are.
Yep.
And that happened in 1983. That Michael introduced me to what is now called the Landmark Forum.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful for that, very much so. It served me.
And then part two, that same question, Rick, was, and what is the difference between law of attraction and prayer?
So here's what I'm going to say. To me, there is no difference. There's no difference. Because in prayer, that's what you're praying. I'm not going to say for, but that's why you're praying. And the law of attraction is a way of being that you attract what you want. Now, here's what I will say. Understand what you want, because it's going to show up. You have to recognize it, because it's coming. It's coming. You know, there's a saying that we say, I'm going to escape me just a second. God's always there, or God's, how do I say this? I forget the exact way. But your prayers are answered. Your prayer will be answered. The law of attraction will occur. You just have to recognize it. That means you have to be open to it.
Yes.
And recognize it when it shows up.
Yes. And when it shows up, embrace it, lean in.
Yep.
And don't take it for granted. It was, and hopefully Jamie has it. I don't have it from me, but this quote that I share with her is that essentially, I'm just as bad, Rick, remember exact terms, but it is around what you just highlighting, that when you call on something, it comes show up. Don't take it for granted. Don't have the expectation it's going to be there to wait for you later. Later doesn't exist. It came now for a reason. And that very thing that you call upon is a gift that many people are looking for. And who are you to discredit that gift that's been given to you, with so many people looking for to search the same thing? So understand the power of the law of attraction and the power of your being and what you bring to you. And when it's right there in your face, embrace it.
Exactly, Jesse.
Rick, love you, man. Any more about
one last thing? Just one last thing. One last thing, and I'm done for the day.
You're the man.
So I'm gonna ask everyone. Okay, what's the one thing you could do today that would make the rest of your year, day, week worthwhile? Just think about it.
Say one more time.
What's the one thing that you could do today that would make the rest of your year, your day, your week worthwhile? And I leave you with that thought.
And Rick, Jamie came through. It was the things that you take for granted. Someone else is praying for.
Praying. Yeah.
Rick, I love you, man.
Good.
Hello, this is Mr. Rose. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to come back every week for new podcast content. Special thanks to my daughter and her team and all their hard work putting this content together. Be engaged. Be aware. Be ready. Be heard. Thank you.